to explore what Gen Z queer people think about the term. We start off with Jake. He finds himself already knowing what bakla meant coming off from his knowledge on the topic.
Sharon na siya, sis!
So, hi, I'm Jake Advincula. He, him pronouns. I'm a cisgender bisexual man. I'm a freelance graphic designer, and I also work as a research assistant for Philippine history projects. The way it's in my head, bakla can either mean an effeminate gay man or a transgender woman. The Philippines has its own way of categorizing gender and sexuality. So I'd say bakla doesn't really have a direct Western equivalent. So I read somewhere, I think it means non-binary queer femme. So, but then that's such a mouthful. But then when you say it, like for example, someone on the street, bakla siya, that usually they get it right away. It's we really have our own system of categorizing and labeling gender and sexuality. Well, for me, residually, there's some, I guess, leftover negative meanings from childhood because, that's how I heard people talk about it.
Not only did Jake hear bakla be used in negative light as a kid, growing up bisexual opened more conversations where older people didn't really understand what being bisexual meant.
I had a crush on one of my classmates in elementary school. It was our salo-salo, and we were all dressed up and like nice. And then I couldn't stop looking at him. In my head, I was like, wait, why can't I stop looking at him? And then it sort of just clicked. Oh, I'm gay pala. Some of the people that I came out to in my family, they didn't really get what being bisexual meant. They just assumed I was under the general gay label. So I had to explain that, I like girls and I like boys. I don't really make it a point to tell people. It's just sort of something they find out and something that I assume they know because of how I present myself, how I dress, how I talk. I have a lot of relatives who are also LGBT. So it wasn't really a foreign concept to me. And I pretty much accepted it immediately. It was more of like something that was filled in my head, like a question mark. That was sort of, okay, this is why I was effeminate when I was a kid. This is why I'd have crushes. So yeah, it was also more of a eureka moment for me.
To Jake, however, another version of bakla is used within his circles, something funnier.
But then for me, I kind of tend to use the word bading more for myself and in general because I know I like it has a nice ring to it, like huli ka bading, parang ganun. So yeah, I like it. And but I guess it depends. Like if a female friend says, "Oy, bakla," parang yeah, I'm gonna feel good. But if some random stranger on the street says, "Uy, bakla," parang I'm gonna feel bad. So it really depends on the context. Coming from the things I've learned as a Philippine history researcher, words change and evolve over time, and their meanings change. We had a lot of LGBT presence, even as far back as the ancient times with the shamans and the spirit mediums. And the words change over time. So, for example, the first usage of the word bakla usually meant like scared or confused. So, in the Passion, if I'm not mistaken, so there's a line that it says, "Si Kristo'y na bakla." So that doesn't mean he turned gay. It just means he was very scared and confused in the Garden of Gethsemane. Coming out is the process of liberating yourself. So I know that you might feel a lot of pressure to subscribe to like the stereotypes or fit in with the gay community. There are a lot of rules like, you should watch Drag Race, you should do this, you should do that. But the thing is, being LGBT is a spectrum. You get to choose who you are. That's liberating. And as long as you feel liberated, as long as you're being true to yourself, it doesn't matter if you fit the stereotype or if you're like other gays. You can just be you.
So there you have it, bakla's meaning on a silver platter, as explained by Jake's knowledge of Filipino history. Though there's more to this conversation, while the bakla's roots can be defined and the way it was used in old texts is solid definition, living queer people grabbed this word and gave it meaning of their own for better or for worse.